What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Second Street Marvel for the day after comic book chat. I hope you're all having a very good day today. Yes, it is the morning after new comic book day, and in case you don't know what that means, I mean, new comic book day was yesterday. Every single Wednesday, new comic books are released at your local comic book shop. If you have a local comic book shop near you, you should get out there and support them. I mean, hey, why not, right? I mean, comic shops are cool, man. They provide lots of great stuff for us. They provide great comic books. They've got like my local comic shop has trading cards. They've got action figures. They've got all kinds of great stuff. All kinds of great stuff. And you guys should make sure that you get out and support your local comic book shop today. Seriously, you should. You should. So yeah, guys, sorry, a little for the late start today, and just a lot of things been going on lately with different things, trying to get everything sorted out here for the channel. I've been trying to change the format of some things. Been trying to change maybe the format of my sorry guys my comic book reviews here a little bit. Trying to up the quality here on the channel, and I've been really busy with that. And guys, last night I missed Fanjexer's show because I was busy going to the store. My kids had karate classes. There was a lot going on, and I even plugged him yesterday too, man. I plugged him yesterday on my community wall. Told you guys to go to Fanjexer's channel, and I missed it. And I'm sad. I'm sad too. I didn't even get to see who won. I haven't gone back to watch it yet. I've just been really busy, guys. Like I said, I've been trying to upgrade things here on the channel. I went, and here's part of the thing. The frustrations with this is I've got an older computer. The Mac that I use is an older 2011 computer. It's an older Mac, and it's pretty nice. So I mean, it gets it on for being a 2011. But the thing is I went out and bought a capture card yesterday. With the as I promised, with the super chats and the money that all you awesome people have sent me, so I can up the production value here on the channel. And you know what? My computer's got USB 2.0. It don't have USB 3.0, so I can't use a capture card. I can't even use the just the cam link. I can't even use that because I got USB 2.0, not 3.0. So now I'm looking for ways that I can try to upgrade the show here via my computer, and I hope I did that a little bit here today. I kind of worked on a little bit on the camera here, just through OBS, some of the sharpening and stuff like that. Man, I'm telling you, it's frustrating. It's frustrating having old technology. But guys, I'm not rich. So what I've decided to do was, since I don't have the money, to get the new capture card, or I don't have the technology to get the new capture card to put my computer, hook my camera up to my computer here. What I've decided is we're gonna up the ante here, right? We're gonna up the ante, and we're gonna start a goal here, and that's for you people to fund my new Mac. Yes, my new Mac. I'm gonna get a brand new 20 set. Like, it's gonna be a badass Mac. It's gonna be a Mac Pro. It's gonna be the desktop. It's gonna be something that you wish you had, and you're gonna. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I don't expect that. But I am looking into other options, just things that we can do here on the channel to up the production value for you guys, because that's one of the things I always want to do. Which mostly that's really just with the live experiences. And in case you guys aren't already aware, I want to give a huge shout out. Shout out to all of the Patreon supporters. You can find their names right down here in the bottom. There are still a couple names that got to get put in there. I'm telling you, it's just been really busy. Yeah, I know, so busy I can't even type a couple of names in there. But I am looking into ways to still up the production value here on the channel for the live streams. Like, my computer is completely capable of rendering the videos and everything like that, like I do here on the channel normally. Where you see my, when I do the videos, they're really nice. I got my camera, I produce it. I got, a nice 8-track recorder here, so it gets the nice sound and everything. It really does good. But for my live streams, guys, I always wanna do better on those for you guys. You know what I mean? Because it's for you guys. It's for your experience. Because you guys watch them more than I do. But let me know down in the comments below. Like, how do you guys feel about my live streams here so far already with just this crappy camera quality that I have right now? And I looked into, there's a capture card, a little cam link that I could buy for my camera right now and hook it to my computer right now through USB 2.0. But I watched the reviews on it and everybody said it sucks. So I'm not going to do that. I just assume put up with this 720 instead of the 1080. You know what I mean? But maybe one of these days, maybe in a couple of years, maybe I'll be able to afford a new computer. Because like I said the other day, guys, I just bought a new vehicle for my business. So anyway, guys, man, enough of that, right? Enough of the drama chat, the crap that, is any of this really important? Do you guys care? Do you? Do you guys care about, is the production value here good enough for you guys? I don't know, man. I always I want stuff to look the best that it can. I want it to be the nicest that it can. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's kind of different. It's kind of weird like that. But anyway, so let's get into the live chats before we get into the comic books, guys. Because look, I got a nice stack of comic books. Did you guys catch my comic book poll list yesterday? The stream. I've started doing the live stream from the comic book shop. It was an idea that I got. You guys know how I am. I'm a content appropriator. You're right. I see other people's content out there and I appropriate it. I make it part of my own. Speaking of which, if you guys are here, please make sure that you hit that like button. It really does help the channel grow. I've been hearing it helps us fight back against Hydra, who is constantly out there trying to crush us in that YouTube algorithm. They're out there working hard against us, even though hashtag the Stark Sham. But hail Hydra. But you know what I mean. Hydra's always out there trying to crush us in the YouTube algorithm. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you share this video with your friends. Just share it on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. It doesn't matter. Whatever way you got to share it, just do it. I mean, it's not hard to do. It takes 2 seconds, to do it. I do it for a lot of people on like Twitter and stuff like that. I share a lot of streams out. It's cool. Because I want other people to see what I'm watching, for the most part. And so I kind of appropriated more people's content. And in case you guys don't know, I did steal Fanjexer's idea for the metal show where we're ranking bands and albums and things like that. So yeah, I mean, I appropriated that from him. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome, because it's a fun show. Thanks to Fanjexer. But then also, I always look to others for, inspiration on what I can do on my channel to maybe make things a little bit better. And if you guys don't know the Immortal Biggie Shack, or even like Perry Comics, what they've been doing is doing some live streams. Like, Biggie Shack is a different kind of guy. If you don't know his channel, you got, he's a comic book YouTuber. He does, he's really into his wrestling, but he does these live streams where he's driving around town and he's heading to his local comic shop, go in there and getting into, getting into the dollar bins and just all the, just some of the back issues and stuff like that. His content's really great, but only Biggie, the Immortal Biggie Shack, can do that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? And then what happened was Perry from Perry Comics went out there and he kind of started doing the same thing. And I was like, you know what? That's a good idea, because you know what? My comic book shop is badass. I love them. They're awesome. They seem to think I'm okay. And so I was like, hey, why not just start shooting the videos live there? So did you guys make it to the show yesterday? It was fun. It really was a good time. So anyway, guys, I've flapped my gums about that long enough here. Let's get into the live chats and say what's up to everybody. Hey, man. Hey. Dude, I said likes. Come on, likes. Get them likes up. Otherwise, I'm putting ads in. If you don't get them likes up, I'm going to put ads in. You've got till this stream hits 10 minutes. If there's not more likes there, I'm putting ads in. Wu-Tang Wells, thank you so much for being here. Russell Adam from Fanjexer says, good morning. Yovo Rhodes, thank you for being here. The morning after show, or the Den of Nerds show. It's the morning after the Den of Nerds show. It's the morning, I don't know. Yo, what's up, Cap? It says, I just messaged Josh about that. Nice. Fanjexer says, it's okay, about 90% of the regulars missed the show. Aw, man. Dang, that sucks. That makes me feel bad. Yeah, it was just my daughter's, and normally I wouldn't even been in karate class yesterday, but my daughter is actually getting ready to go to a competition this weekend, so dang, man. Thanks for the win, buddy. I know you would come through. Oh, man. Wu-Tang Well says, you good, holy shit, your wall is getting stuffed full of posters. I remember when it was just 2 to 4. Yeah, day one, huh? Fenrir Fire, thank you so much for being here. Fanjexer says, I'm about to drop $1,000 on a new computer that I'm building myself. Can't wait. Yeah, that's pretty nice. Like me, the computer I'll get when I eventually get one, it'll be another Mac. I'm kind of into the whole we're there. You know what I mean? In the whole Mac lifestyle. It's really a thing. It's kind of having Apple products, being like, not just the iPhone, but like having a Mac and all that stuff. It's really, it's like being keto. Like going Mac is like not like it's not like being vegan. Okay, it's not like being vegan. It's not like that. It's like being keto. It's like being keto because like vegans are one way, but like being keto is, you guys know that keto don't work unless you tell everybody you're doing it, right? Yeah, it's kind of like that. It's kind of like that. But yeah, I've thought about that too. Like, maybe I could keep this computer for what it is, and do what I do with it, and build. Because I've heard you can build some really badass computers for pretty cheap if you know what you're doing. But I mean, I'm not a gamer, so I would need to build one built towards towards streaming and video editing. And if you're out there watching, Ryan from Nerdy Blurb TV, get at me, bro. Get at me. Oof, man, we're still not. Oh, dang, we're still not concurrent on likes to current viewers. Sorry, guys. I'm sorry. There comes the ads. I'm kidding, but please watch them, because, super chats and all that stuff. I'm not going to beg you guys to send me money, but, the best way you can help is by watching those ads. It's pennies. Like, I don't get enough traffic here. I've been thinking about stuff like that as well. I'll talk about that later. I'm going on and on here today, guys. Sorry. You could probably build a new PC for about 500 to use your capture card. Adam, get a hold of me, bro. Get a hold of me. Seriously. Get a hold of me about some stuff. Get a hold of me about some stuff. I'm great, bro. Can't complain any day I wake up, says Cap. Absolutely. We do care, Trinity. It can be better, but it's good now, really. Okay, yeah, and that's kind of what I figure. We'll give it time. Maybe by the time I'm a big YouTuber and I'm raking in bucks from ad revenue, maybe that's when I'll go ahead and upgrade to a newer, nicer computer. I was 10 minutes late. I'd be more concerned about the BS you're pushing with the Stark Sham than your camera. Ooh, them's kind of fighting words there, Fanjecture. Yeah, the Starks are shady. Yeah, see, Cap knows. Cap knows. Yeah, Cap knows. Damajna, what's up, my brother? How are you doing, man? I hope you're feeling better. I know you guys didn't do the Keepers of the Force this weekend because you were feeling under the weather. I hope all is well, my brother. Eric Rigsby, thank you for being here. Aggressively Relaxing says, I just had the best ballet class. What up, everyone? Nice. Like, did you get like some good stretching in? Like, I don't know. Like, that's pretty cool. Thought about putting my kids in ballet as well. I prefer Macs, but streaming software favors Windows. Absolutely. The 3 Apple computers have killed themselves instead of helping me make content. Man, that sucks. Oh, I guess I dropped the ball. Hit that like button, or we're sending people to see you. So I used to be a video editor, graphic designer before 2 foot surgeries brought me to my current job in insurance. I have a buddy that builds Hackintoshes. Saved me a ton. Hackintoshes. That's great. That's great. I like that. But I'll tell you what else I've been thinking about, guys. What else I was thinking about was, because a couple of people asked about my morning streams where I was walking around the neighborhood, and I was thinking, since I can't stream that because our service here sucks, I was thinking I could always record videos and then just upload them that way. But then I was also thinking, like, since I'm a cyclist, like, I couldn't do it all the time. But since I'm a cyclist, maybe once a week, I could do a thing, like, I could buy one of those nice microphones for my phone that jacks in and will give me good sound, and maybe I could do some streams while I'm actually out riding my bike. I don't know. Anyway, guys, we need to get into some comic books. Who wants to talk about some comic books today, guys? Built me a PC for $3K that would have cost $12K if purchased through Apple. Oh, yeah. Damn. Thing is, be seriously considering dusting it off and sending some free promos to you and Josh. Nice. Apple phones are better for making content than Apple computers. It really kind of depends. Because I'm telling you, like, there's a lot of stuff that, like, even with this old Mac that I can still do. I use a Hackintosh now. That's why I'm upgrading. Nice. Okay, guys. So let's get into some comic books here. I did speak a little bit about these yesterday. in my live stream. But let's start with some indies. You guys want to talk about some indie comic books? I didn't get a whole lot this week. I didn't get a whole lot of them. I've got a few of them, but we'll get into some of that. And I did get that new Jonathan Hickman book to review, Decorum. This one right here. Have you guys read this yet? Have you guys read Decorum? It's different. This book starts off. It's weird. It almost reminds me of like reading like an encyclopedia or something. The first half of this book is a lot of visuals. There is very little. Well, I wouldn't even say very little reading to do, but yeah, like see you open it up and yeah, okay. That's not too bad. It's got a pretty cool, neat design and layout here. Getting into the book, like you get into it right here, and you can see right there. See how it looks like it reminds me of a. It reminds me of like an encyclopedia or anything, because you see how all this is. Then you see the words here, and then kind of like that. Then you get into it, and then there's just a bunch of art, and you can see like there's it's cool because there's kind of like it's like there's these natives, like indigenous people, and they're talking a certain language, and you can see you don't know what they're saying, but the language is there, and then they get these they've got these like high tech space weapons because these aliens come down and visit, and they're having a pretty big war here, pretty crazy stuff here. I think it's like, I don't know. I didn't get read all the way through this though. But I will say one thing is maybe this is just Jonathan Hickman's thing. I'm not really familiar with all of his writing, but maybe he likes to do everything like the House of X and Powers of X is, or like a lot of this stuff, setting up these pyramid locations. What else we got? We got here the maps. We got the maps because you need the maps. Now I will say one thing. When you're doing, especially like an indie comic, or even what he's doing with House of X and Powers of X, even with the big long history they've had, is you do have to kind of set up a world. With the X-Men, there's already a world set up. He's just kind of changing things, so he's doing a lot of stuff like this. But here you're setting up your own world. So here, this isn't so bad where you're setting up your own world, putting these things in this book. But there, like I said, there's a whole lot of reading for like setting a lot of this stuff up. I'm not sure how much I like this. Like, it's cool because it's filling you in on all of this kinds of stuff that you need to know for the story. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. It's kind of like an encyclopedia in that way. It's giving you the information that you need. What I like is they're giving you some of the information, and they're also doing it and giving you some visuals as well. I do like that, but at the same time, it's almost kind of boring too. I don't feel like I'm reading a comic book so much. I don't feel like I'm being entertained, if you know what I mean. But then it gets into the story. Then it gets into the story where you got some characters interacting. You actually got some, and this is in the second half of the book. You can see the staples right here. It gets into the second half of the book. By the time you see some of the characters interacting, and we really see a lot more of that kinds of stuff, where the comic book is really building. And then we get some more pages with a bunch of reading on them. There's a lot more of these like pages that are like an encyclopedia. And then it goes in here into chapter 3. We've got different chapters in here. And it goes in here and it's telling the story. Like I said, I didn't get read through it all because I was trying to absorb all the stuff through this beginning, the first part of the book, the chapter 1 here. And I don't know. It's something different. Like I said, they're really building a world here, which I like that. But sometimes I feel like there's so much information here in the first half of this book, and it's only $4.99. The book was only $4.99, so as an extra buck, you're getting a pretty thick book. I'm not sure how much you can see there. And, like I said, he's starting this new world. He's building it up. So, like I said, I was really trying to take in a lot of what was going on here in the beginning. That's why I didn't get through this one yet. Because that's why I said it is kind of like an encyclopedia. And I've got a video that I need to do about things like this in comic books. Where here He's setting up a new world. I get that. But then in the X books, we get a lot of those white pages that you guys all know I love so much. In those Dawn of X books. And then I get books like this one. Oh gosh, where's it at right here? Some of these from last week that I've already dropped reviews for here on the channel that I will actually have to show you guys what I'm talking about here. Let's get into a few of these. Like, oh man, where's that? Did I put it away already? I may have. No, I didn't put it away already. Did I? Oh, I may have because I shot the reviews for it. I think I did. I did. Okay, well, anyway, last week in Join the Future was a new book on Aftershock Comics. They had a couple of pages towards the end where they had these letters that people had wrote. People that were leaving their small little western towns to go join the mega city. And there was like 3 or 4 pages of that, just like dialogue, just like 3 or 4 pages of text. Which Black Stars Above here is another book I've been reading, and this one is this one's issue number 4. So this isn't even the right one that I was thinking of. This isn't even the right one. Is the other one here? Oh man, I thought it was here. Maybe I put it away. But what they did is there's like towards the end of the book there's like 8 pages of text in it. Just like text. It's script like written in there. And while like in Black Stars Above it was okay, like I was willing to put up with that for what was going on in the story. But it's kind of, to me it kind of comes down to this thing like, are you building a comic book? Because comic books are so visually it's a visual thing. You should have panels in there with action happening, or something with the characters drawing. And I've been seeing this a lot more in some of the books I've been reading. Now they are an indie book, so hey, you get to do what you want there. But at some point there comes a point where like maybe you've got to call it like, okay, like everybody's kind of doing this. It's almost becoming trendy, and maybe it's the writers. Some of them who are used to writing novels and stuff like that are getting into comic books because maybe they can get a little bit more exposure out there. Which is a completely different conversation to have altogether. About people who don't like comics getting into like comic book culture all of a sudden. Just like I remember Young Ripper 59 did a video not too long ago talking about Jack. I think her name's Jack Bauer. She's the writer of the Black Widow movie, where she said she was never into comic books or anything like that until she got this chance to work with Marvel in the Black Widow, and she's like, oh well, I just realized all of a sudden like I could use this to help push my stories, my agendas and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, so like she clearly said that she's not into comic book culture, but now she's getting into it. So I don't know. I mean, like I said, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's not a good thing either. Like I don't know. I think there's a little bit of give and take to it. Because you got to do whatever you can to try to get exposure in whatever way you can. Some people start YouTube channels. Some people write comic books when they were novelists. Maybe some people go from writing comic books to writing scripts for movies, right? Because that's one thing, if you watch your boy Zach, he always talks about is how a lot of these writers seem like their books are just they're just writing to get Netflix pitches, to get a Netflix deal. But all that being said, there's a lot of these things going on in these books, like I said, Black Stars Above had a bunch of dialogue in it one day. It didn't turn me away. I kept reading it, but I'm just kind of like, oh man. And it was interesting stuff, though. It was interesting stuff. But there comes a point where, like, okay, this is comic books. It's a medium where you're trying to push pictures with story and all that kind of stuff. Like, let's get a little bit more story here. Let's get a little bit, more pictures with the story. So I don't know. How do you guys feel about that? If any of you guys read comic books, how do you feel about comic books all of a sudden becoming this thing where we're getting pages upon pages of text to read instead of visuals? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Let's see here. Whiskey Steals and Tumbleweeds, thank you for being here. Aggressively Relaxing says lots of stretching. I've gotten really good at a lot of weird things because it's funny. Let me see here if I can. Maybe I just need to do this here. Pop that out. There we go. There we go. Lots of stretching. I've gotten really good at a lot of weird things because it's funny. I'm a doctor and a reverend, technically. Okay. All right. Let's see what I'm going to spend my money on. What is that? Oh, no. Which one? Which one? Oh, the new Jonathan Hickman one. I read it. I really like the style of the graphic design. Yeah, and that's true, Eric Rigsby. That. I mean, it's a cool concept. Like I'm into that when somebody's doing something like that. But like from what I read, like I said, I was really trying to take it in visually because just last week Marvel even tried to, or 2 weeks ago, Marvel tried to do that with their X-Men. Giant-sized X-Men, Jean Grey and Emma Frost, where it was pretty much all visuals, very little story in there. It's not bad. It's not bad. You just got to be really into it. What company is that book? Yeah, it's Image. Yeah, that's his style. I like J.R.R. Tolkien. Lots of maps, etc., to help build a world. Yeah, like I said, and sometimes you have to do that. I think sometimes it's necessary. I'm an architect by day, and I love how it reminds me of the type of diagrams and layout I draw at work. Yeah, definitely. I can see how it's not for a lot of people. Yeah, I can see where a lot of people wouldn't like it. It really, for me, it just kind of depends on what they're doing. Were you setting up a whole new world where you're wanting to tell a story and everything like that? I think it's probably necessary. Because to me, this, with as thick as this book is and this stuff they're setting up here, I don't know how many issues this is going to be, but my guess is that it's going to be an ongoing, not a little 5-issue miniseries. Because you wouldn't, I don't know, I don't feel like if you're doing 5 or 6 issues, like you would need to explain that much. You would want to spend it telling the story. He does good work, though, already worth it. Yeah, Wu-Tang Will says, pretty thick. LB, I am here. Thank you so much for being here. LB, I'm True Skills, thank you so much for being here. I'm in good trying to get past the coronavirus craziness. Yeah, don't let him. Come on, just be safe. Wash your hands. Avoid breathing into other people's faces, and just that kind of stuff. It'll be all right. Captain Pennsylvania says, "We'll make it. Crazier things actually happen that most don't know about. Be safe though. Yeah, absolutely. In my opinion, it's okay for the first issue or two to establish things, but after that, I want to see cool artwork. It is a comic after all. Absolutely. I agree with you there, Whiskey Stills and Tumbleweeds. I'm Two Skills says, thanks. I try to work out so I have a good immune system. Ooh, I'm True Skills. Do or do not. There is no try. I'm kidding. But yeah, just get some regular workouts in. I mean, here's the thing. If you can go out and do a half hour a day, just do that. If you can go out there, and then try to push it to an hour a day. Go out and do an hour a day. Then increase it just a little bit more. But you can't increase it. You can't make big increases. There's ways that you're supposed to ratchet it up and crank it up. Yeah. Wash your hands too. You'll be good then, bro. What is the name of that Hickman title? Decorum. Right? Bam, right there. Decorum. Yeah, it was, like I said, interesting. I love that cover on there. I think that's the B cover. The next one I want to talk about here is Stealth. Stealth is another new issue on Image Comics as well. This book is being written by Mike Costa. Nate Bellegarde is the artist. Tamara Bonneville is the color artist. This one was actually pretty interesting. Depends on what you guys like. This is I can't say it's a new superhero. It's a new superhero book, but he's not a new superhero because he's been around for quite a while from what it seems like. He goes around fighting crime. Oh man, I can't really talk. This book was very interesting. For one, it's taking place in Detroit. We've got mostly, we're getting your representation there because your main character is black. Your hero is black. Is a black man. They're dealing with a lot of, just, yeah, I guess inner city kind of things, talking about stuff like that, like Detroit, like you would talk about if you were in Detroit. Um, Very interesting book. Very interesting book. This man, I can't. I hate to give away. I hate to give away anything in this book because this book was really good. What we got here is we've got an aging hero, and the way that it's set up is you. Man, I can't really talk about this. This is one I think this one might be worth it. This one might be worth a read. But we've got this hero that we see who's going out and stopping crimes and everything like that. Going out and fighting crimes. We see that he's in this laundromat, stopping somebody from getting robbed. He stops a robber, and dude, I'm telling you, he brutally beats up this robber dude like it's pretty bad. He jacks this dude up, and then later we see this robber or we see this hero going up and jacking these dudes. These bad guys here in this car on the freeway, and like, dude, I'm telling you, he jacks them up so bad. And then all of a sudden, he's bum rushed by a couple other cars. Like this whole gang thing going on. He's out there fighting these gangs. He blows up these cars. He ends up taking off, but there was a whole bunch of them. He basically ends up getting jumped. He gets pretty jacked up. Well, and that's where we get to the end of the story. To the end of this first issue. Some very cool things happen in this book. I'm not for sure what to say about this. Because like I said, there's things like I said you would see. There's our superhero in here is black. They're dealing in mostly black communities. A lot of people out there probably be like, oh, it's SJW. They're out there talking about social justice and isn't that kind of what comic book heroes are kind of doing in the first place? Anyway, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, but the situation, like the whole situation in this book was really like I said, I don't even want to get I can't even go into this book because I don't want to give it away. I don't want to give it away. But I got to tell you, I liked this first issue. And let me be honest with you, when I got in and I read the first couple of pages here, I was kind of like, oh great, here we go. And then the setup in here, because we see this young man in here that is dealing with his father, who is obviously coming down with like Alzheimer's disease, dementia maybe. This young man, and then he has to go confront his father about that because his father keeps getting hurt just while he's sitting at the house, right? While he's sitting at the house, his father keeps getting hurt, and so he's concerned for his father. And this it all kind of plays in with it, even with the superheroes, like crazy stuff. Just man, I'm telling you, I liked this book more than I thought I was going to, especially once I got about like I said, I got a few pages into this book and I was like, oh man, here we go. It's gonna be one of those kind of books, but I don't know. It was really good. I don't even. I know somebody's gonna come in like, what do you mean one of those kind of books? What do you mean one of those kind of books? One of those kind of books where somebody's talking about their agenda and all that kinds of stuff. Because it sets up and it presents stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, and then I'm like, ooh. But even like I've talked about before, if you're going to do that kind of stuff, do it in an indie book. It's your book. That's what you got it there for. That's how you do it. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. And I'm telling you, I like Stealth. I thought Stealth was a really good book. I wasn't expecting to like it as much as I did. Because it introduces a very interesting family dynamic as well as a dynamic with this superhero. And like I said, it's not a new superhero. It's an old superhero, as a matter of fact. But it's like a new book. But it makes me think that this superhero is going to... things are going to change. I think things are going to change. I don't know. It's a good book. Is that the Hickman title? Yes, that's the Hickman title. Looks like Batman and Archangel in one. Kinda. I guess you could kind of say that because he's kind of very Batman-esque. True Skill says, "Are you still reading Free Fall? They are making Hawkeye like Deadpool in that series." Yes, I am. I am still reading it. That's one of the ones I was going to kind of touch upon here in just a little bit if we get there. Looks a bit like Gargoyle. I'm not sure who Gargoyle is. Damn, you're making me want to pick it up, says Cap. Yeah, it is. It was a really good book. Like I said, everything that started happening in the story, like I said, for one, it started off. I was kind of like, oh man, it's gonna be one of those kind of books, like like social justice warrior books, where that's playing a lot of on those stereotypical kind of tropes, but it's not. It's not. It was very different. It was very different. It wasn't what I was expecting. That's what and that's what it is. Ultimately, it just was not what I was expecting. Yeah. Comic Assassin, thank you so much for being here. I do greatly appreciate you being here. So yeah. Let's go ahead and move on to the next book I got here. This next one is on Image Comics as well. This one's Reaver, issue number 7, and I've got to tell you, I'm not sure. Did you guys read Reaver, the first series of Reaver, the first 6 issues? I thought it was pretty good. Comic Assassin says, I picked up Stealth, going to read it later today. Yeah, it was a good book, man. It was really good. I didn't think I was going to enjoy it as much as I did. Really. Great setup in it. Great setup. Reaver issue number 7. And we can see this one's going to be a 5-issue arc, The Grim After, part 1 of 5. If you didn't read the first series of Reaver, it was pretty good, but I need to go back and reread it and maybe do a bigger, larger kind of review for it. Because I remember as it was coming out, there was so many things coming out too. Like, I just, and that's something that Chris from Chaos and Comics has been talking about wanting to read more trade paperbacks as opposed to the single floppy issues. Because, like you get all the story in one, you get all 5 issues in one book, which is an interesting theory, and I like that book. And I like that too. But sometimes I do like the single floppies. I like to see them. I like, what it is I need to get my list down to when it's a book that when I read it, it makes me want to read the next issue. Because so many books out there don't make me want to read the next issue. Like, I'll read it. I think for the most part, like the Marvel books, a lot of those I keep up on in the single floppies because, well, there's a couple that I like, but two, so I can bring reviews for them here on the channel. Is the only reason I don't want to do, on some of them, I won't do trade paperbacks. I'm thinking like some of them maybe I need to. Like maybe like Swordmaster and Arrow, maybe I could get those on trade paperbacks instead of the single floppy issues. But then, you're months behind. You're months behind on them. You're like 5-6 months behind. The next thing you know, you could just read them on Marvel Unlimited. Then you have absolutely no reason to go out there and buy. You know what I mean? Anyway, Reaver issue number 7 was actually pretty good. I got to choose between Reaver and Agents of Atlas. That's a pretty tough one. You know what you could do is find somebody out there who is reading Agents of Atlas and ask them to send you their digital code. Say, hey man, share the wealth. And support the indie. Although Image, let me ask you guys that. Maybe I should make a video about that, about Image. Is Image an indie or not, guys? They're big enough that they might as well be part of the big 3. They could be the big 3 if you think about it. But Reaver is, so it's a medieval tale where basically what happened in the first series was we had a group of misfits who were kind of enemies of the state, if you will, who were sent out on this mission, but they were given this serum, and I guess it wasn't a serum, it was but a potion that actually made them where they had this wizard had to be there with them to make sure that they stayed alive like every 10 hours or something like that. Otherwise, they would just die. And so they had to go out on this mission to get this stuff, and yeah, it's been a few months since I read all that. But they had to go out on this mission and kill these people and all these kinds of things. It was a band of misfits kind of thrown together, kind of Suicide Squad style. And it was a pretty decent series. It was pretty decent. I thought it was pretty good. I mean, I pulled all 6 issues and read them all. But then issue number 7 here, I gotta say I like this issue because this series obviously looks like it's going to be talking a little bit more about Essen Breaker, who is here on the cover. He was one of the main characters in the first story arc. We get introduced to him when he is a little bit younger, when he moves to this town that is basically like a Mos Eisley, if you will, in the cantina. Yeah, very cool story because we get this story about he comes across this girl who's getting ready to be basically abducted, probably even killed by these people 'cause she's a pickpocket. He ends up saving her, and she ends up trying to pickpocket him. He ends up going to meet with his friend who opened this bar, who is actually working with somebody else that they know from their childhood. It really feels like one of those, like, like a fish out of water story, but you go to, this new town and your friend there, and, you got people that you know from your childhood that are really good people that you trusted and everything when you're a child, and you go there, like one of those kind of movies. And then all of a sudden, you kind of get involved in the situation, and they're kind of like, man, like things got a little bit deeper here than we thought they was going to, man. You know what I'm talking about, Tommy? And, yeah, so we kind of got in bad. We got in good with these guys at first, but then, man, made a couple bad decisions, and now we're in it pretty deep. And that's what it kind of seemed like here. But you could see the Essen Breaker here. He already had a reputation, but he has a high moral standard here. He has a good bar of morals here that he follows, a good code that he lives by, if you will. And very interesting things going on in this book. And we do even get at the very end, we get a I wouldn't even say a cameo, but a reveal of a character from the first story arc, where these two characters had obviously come together before what we've seen in the first story arc. Reaver issue number 7 I thought was pretty good. I wasn't sure if I was going to stay with this series by the time we got to issue number 7 or anything. I was like, I don't know. I guess we'll see how issue 7 is. 7 looks like they did it. They changed artists. They got a new artist, but the story here was pretty good, and I liked it. I like it for what we're getting here. The next one I've got here, like I said, I want to get through the indies that I pulled this week, and I think this is the last of the indies that I pulled. Did you guys check my comic book pull list yesterday? Okay, there is one other indie that I didn't get to read. There is one other indie that I didn't get to read that I did pull. And that was Death to the Army of Darkness on right here. I'll just show you Death to the Army of Darkness on Dynamite Comics. This one right here, and I love this cover. This cover is great. I didn't get to read this one. I don't know about this one. I read the first issue, and to me, they just didn't nail the character of Ash in the writing. Where I've got another series that I got the last year. It was Bubba Hotep and Army of Darkness, and to me, that one nailed the Bubba Hotep character and even Ash. Like the whole attitude, the whole swagger, and everything that they have. Like it really nailed it. The first issue of this one didn't really get me. Like at first, it was really kind of, and then towards the end, it kind of picked up a little bit, got a little more Ash-like. But his characterization seemed a little bit off to me. This one right here, I'm hoping it picks up. But I do like that cover where we got the, yeah. I know what you're thinking. We got the female Ash. Yeah, we got tokenized Ash here. Tokenized Ash. Damn it. they'll tokenize anybody these days, won't they? It doesn't matter. Speaking of tokenized Ash, I'm kidding. The next one here is Aftershock Comics, The Man Who Effed Up Time, issue number 2. I did get a chance to read this one as well. This one's an interesting story. This kid, he's working at this. He got a job at this university. He wasn't able to fund his way through school, but this other guy, basically his nemesis, did, because he was privileged. His parents had money and all that stuff. The white guy, the white kid. He was spoiled and privileged, but this guy wasn't. And so, which is funny because in the setup, the way they set all these things up. Like I said, in an indie, you do what you want to do, man. So he ended up going back in time and kind of went and met himself, did things you're not supposed to do according to Back to the Future, and changed a little bit of things in the past, and it ended up messing everything up because when he wakes up to this world that is like this. Pretty crazy. But then here at the beginning, he's kind of met by these time police, these robots, who end up They end up zapping him here. Zzz, they zap his ass here at the very beginning, and they end up scarring him. And so they basically tell him, like, dude, you have to go back and fix everything you jacked up because stuff is jacked up. And all he did was went back 2 weeks, 2 weeks in the past, and then, like, it completely jacked a whole lot of stuff up. Like, I'm sitting here like, man, how does this jack everything up just from just 2 weeks? Like, you got like people here from like like the Egyptian times. You got President Abraham Lincoln the Third, and just like some crazy stuff. And here things kind of escalate once again. You can see a little bit more of that here. Like I said, just crazy stuff. This book has been entertaining and silly at the same time, which is some of the stuff going on, because it's really just playing with time, and telling a story of how, like, you go back and you change this one little thing, it's going to change everything. That ripple effect, that butterfly effect, if you will. It's been interesting. It hasn't been great. It hasn't been terrible. It's been decent. For the man who effed up time. Definitely some funny stuff going on in this book. Yeah, choosing between Reaver and Agents of Atlas. I would choose Reaver because, like, I'm not, like, I've been reading more of the indie stuff lately than I have like the big out of the Marvel or DC. Rose Sachs, thank you for being here. Says late getting to the party. It's all good. Who the hell is Tommy? You don't know Tommy? Come on, man, Tommy Vercetti. Time Police from Rick and Morty need a comic. I mean, Rick and Morty has a comic, but you mean like the Time Police? That would be cool. Late, I'm here, work stuff, Oh, I totally know. Trust me, I totally know, because I'm going to have to go out and do some work stuff here in just a few minutes. But again, thank you guys so much for being here. If you are here, please make sure that you smash the like button. That was it as far as the indie books that I got this week. There are a couple that I got that I'm looking forward to reading. Let me know and did anybody else get this? Did you guys get this Bounty Hunters? Star Wars Bounty Hunters? I got this variant edition copy. This one with Boba Fett there on the cover right here, right? You guys see that? Did you guys pick this up? What did you guys think about it? Let me ask you something. Is this something with the printer? Was like the ink they were using and the paper? Because like mine, I probably can't show you here. But let me see if I can get the light to reflect off of it the right way. Maybe a little bit right there. I'm not sure if you guys can see like some of it see how rough the paper looks there with the light shining on it. It's really rough in a lot of spots. It almost looks like a painting. I'm wondering if it's because the kind of ink that they had to use, and maybe a lot of those ink issues with the type of paper they're using and stuff like that, the absorption and everything. It's really rough. So I'll probably be delicate with this thing. I'll probably just actually get the and just like throughout the whole book. Oh man, it's like that throughout the whole book. I wonder if the whole book, man, is this just a bad copy? Maybe this might just be a bad copy. I don't know, because like it looks like there's like an air bubble right here. Man, maybe I should have looked at this and opened this thing up and looked at it a little bit more. But yeah, I don't know. I picked this up to check it out, give it a read. I don't read many of the Star Wars comics. Yeah, maybe I need to go see if they have another copy of this still and see if they're all the same. Because it looks like it's like, I don't know, like moisture or something, almost like they've been wet. I don't know, weird. But let me know if you guys pick this up, and if yours is like that. I just noticed the cover, and then I opened it up, and then I'm like, oh dang, man. But yeah, I want to read this one, and then I also picked up Star Wars Darth Vader issue number 2 as well. I did read that issue last month, and want to read this and bring you guys a review on these two as well. I don't know, check it out. I don't read a whole lot of the Star Wars books, so I did want to check those out. Now, the other one I did read, I Am True Skills. Are you still here? I Am True Skills. Yeah, I did. Here is the Hawkeye Free Fall issue. This series, it's got its good and its bads. It's Matthew Rosenberg writing. I like Matthew Rosenberg's writing. He's a good writer. He's very funny. Spider-Man made an appearance in issue number 3. 2. issue number 2. I like the way that Matthew Rosenberg writes Spider-Man. I'm not sure if he's ever done a Spider-Man series, like a Peter Parker Spider-Man series. I would like to see him do it. He seems to be good at writing the character. It was very interesting in the book when I read it. I was laughing. I was having a good time. Hawkeye Freefall is a pretty decent book, although you can see some of the tones that, some of Matthew Rosenberg's personal feelings into some of this stuff, because we see where, Hawkeye is, he's inherited some wealth. He had a building, and he's putting money into different things. He's sharing the wealth. And here he's robbing from rich guys and giving it to the poor guys to help people out. That's all good, but being a bad guy to do something good doesn't make you good. Okay? Right? Going out and murdering a drug dealer because he's got a lot of money and giving it to the homeless shelters or something, say, doesn't make you a good guy. It doesn't make you a good guy. And it's not even really justice, to be honest with you. I could really go into a whole lot of that stuff. But here we see that that's what's going on in this. But I like what's going on here. Other than that, just that little silliness. Hawkeye has been really good, but Hawkeye is not really been the best guy in the past either. He actually, not too long ago, he actually killed Bruce Banner. Do you guys remember that? Yeah, he killed Bruce Banner. And so he's somewhat of a vigilante anyway. What is happening with Hawkeye? Is this 616? Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is 616. It's pretty interesting though. It's not been a bad book. I've liked the writing that's going on here. The situations going on in this story is pretty funny. And who was it that said right? Who was it that said Hawkeye going Deadpool? I thought I read somebody said that here earlier. Yeah, I'm True Skill says, are you reading Freefall? They are making Hawkeye like Deadpool in that series. And they are. They are kind of making him like Deadpool in this series. And that's kind of like, I don't know how I feel about that. I know this series has been it's been pretty good. But yeah, they are doing it kind of like, they are kind of making him like Deadpool. And that's kind of like, just, why don't you just put Matthew Rosenberg on Deadpool and let us get a good Deadpool series instead of that. Yeah, that series that's going on right now. Yeah. Why don't you give us that? Hector, thank you so much for being here again. He says, living the dream. Captain Pennsylvania says, if it has Boba Fett, I'm out. Worst bounty hunter ever. I'm not for sure. I haven't read it yet, so I'm not sure if he's in there. What is happening with Hawkeye? Is this 616? I believe it is. Hawkeye needs to be about justice. Yeah, and that's what he's doing. He's going out and seeking some justice on some stuff. Another one I picked up, guys, is this one right here is Symbiote Spider-Man Alien Reality. Great book. Very, very good read. I like this one. It's definitely an alternate universe going on here because he's being thrown. He actually got thrown into an alternate universe. Here is what's happening. I'm not sure that it's necessarily an alternate universe because I think it is still 616, just in an alternate universe. The art in this book is great. What is Greg Land, Jay Listen, and Frank Diamata are doing it. Greg Land is doing the art. Jay Listen is on inks, I believe, and Frank Diamata is on the colors. I could be wrong there. Let's go ahead and check that out. Jay Listen is the inker. Frank Diamata is the colorist. Yeah, guys, I like this book. It's really cool. Ooh, plus. Oh man, did we get one? We didn't get one this time. I guess kind of. We've got what do they call her? I think Red Widow here, or no, Red Cat. Red Cat. Yeah, that's Natasha Romanoff Black Cat, or Red Cat in this case. Oof. Man, I'm telling you, the art in this series has been pretty good. The situations are pretty cool because they are It's playing with a lot of things that have happened throughout, in Spider-Man's history in his past and changing them. But it's all done because somebody else has become the Sorcerer Supreme, and very interesting stuff. Very interesting stuff. I like this book. And again, Greg Land or Peter David is the one writing this. He wrote the previous Symbiote Spider-Man story last year. It was really good. Great stuff. I think I talked a little bit. I can't remember if I talked a little bit about this yesterday or not. Thor, issue number 4, guys. Go out and read this. Go out and read this. I really like this book. There's some very cool things that happen in this book this week. There is also something else that happens in this book. I'm kind of like, oh man, I kind of knew that was going to happen, but I was hoping this thing was going to be stretched out a little more. And that one thing, I'll tell you guys without ruining anything else about this book, because we know in the last issue, Thor was fighting with Beta Ray Bill. Lady Sif stepped in and broke it all up, and she told him, dude, yeah, she was pretty pissed. I don't even want to say what I was getting ready to say. But Thor here has been really good, and the one thing that I was didn't want to happen, but I almost thought was going to happen is right here. We get this part where they were supposed to go through and get the 5 worlds that Galactus has to absorb to eat. It's kind of, I wouldn't say it's glossed over here, but it kind of just in this issue it marches forward. You go through 3 planets like that, and I was really hoping, like through the series, especially after the first planet, we'd get a lot more of those stories as Thor and Galactus kind of come at odds with how they're doing everything. I was hoping to get more of that throughout this series as they were getting ready to take on the Black Winter. Here, it seems to have moved forward, progressed a little too fast there. Like I wanted that with each world. Like maybe each world presented a different challenge. And certainly here, the last world that they go to absorb definitely had its own little challenge as well. But because I guess just that first one was so interesting when him and Galactus first went at it, and then after they destroyed that world, Beta Ray Bill showed up. It seems like this issue was, I wouldn't say it was rushed, but like that part of the story they rushed through, and I wanted more of that. But anyway, I thought it was pretty good. Guys, Punisher Soviet. What can I say about this? It's not bad. It's not great. I've said that about every single one of these issues when it comes out. I actually liked the book that was coming out before this one happened. I think it was Matthew Rosenberg. I think it was Matthew Rosenberg's Punisher, with that guy who was doing the art on Fallen Angels, who was doing a really bad job with Fallen Angels, but he seemed to do good. Simon Kudransky was doing really great with the Punisher series. This right here, it's not even that great. It's okay. It almost seems predictable. The art in this book definitely isn't for me. I don't like the art in this book so much. And really, it's these Max Comics. It's this Max Comics thing. It's got this explicit content right up there. The only thing that they're really doing in here, I mean, you get some blood and guts a little bit, but the only thing I've really noticed in here, like, not even really a whole lot of cursing. They said the F word in here. And no, not the 4-letter word F word, but the other one. The other one that you can't say because then you're talking bad about people and it could be construed as gay bashing. That F word. That's really about all in this book. And it's been pretty predictable so far. Like, I don't know. I might have to A-OK this one to somebody and get it out of my life eventually. Because it wasn't that great of a read. It wasn't that great. But anyway, guys, that's pretty much the ones I've got through this week. Guys, I kind of covered Cable, New Mutants, and X-Men yesterday. I did read Amazing Spider-Man issue number 41 as well. It was a pretty decent read. Amazing Spider-Man has gotten a lot better in the last 5-6 issues because they stopped doing all the tie-in stuff with him. I have a feeling they're getting ready to start that up again, and I don't want them to. Cable is definitely one. Depends on what you want to read, man. There's some interesting stuff going on in this book, but it might not be one that you don't have to go out there and read, depending on what you like. X-Men issue number 6. They're upping the ante in these books. There's a lot more crossover this week in these books. X-Men issue number 8 was pretty good, and New Mutants issue number 9. This is probably the best issue of New Mutants that we've had so far. Yeah, and it's still not all that great, but it's probably the best one we've had so far. But anyway, guys, that's gonna do it today for the morning after show. That's on the comic books. So yeah, guys, just to kind of recap, I started the show off talking about just some of the pitfalls that I have here with the technology that I have in my hands, and what is within my grasp to get to bring in some better shows. And I was joking around about you guys sending me money to help buy me a new computer. But if you did, hey, I'm not gonna be upset. But I've got some things that I'm working on to try to upgrade the production here on the channel, just to make it a little bit nicer. You can see the camera here is a little bit blurry and everything. It's not like literally. I think the camera on my phone, seriously, the camera on my phone is better than the one that I have here on my computer through my Mac. And to me, I think it's the dumbest thing in the world. There should be a way to actually tether my iPhone to my computer to let my phone be the camera for my computer. Why is that not something that I can do, Apple? Why is that not something I can do? It seems silly to me. Why can't I run my phone into my Mac and have my phone be the slave camera, the webcam, for my computer? It seems ridiculous. These things are made to work together, man. Maybe the new ones can. I don't know. I found this app out there too from Elgato called ScreenLink, but I can't get that damn thing to work for shit. Ugh. Anyway, that's what we started off the show talking about. Then we got into some comic books, talked about some of the indie books. I was really more worried about those guys, because it seems like I don't do as many reviews on the indie books, and mostly on the bigger, because we're a content creator, you're trying to get higher views on some of your videos and stuff like that, but it seems like a lot of people are searching more for like the X titles and some of the Marvel titles, and then it seems like I do less of the indie ones, which I should be doing more of the indie ones and less of the Marvel ones. But I kind of do those throughout the week, where the Marvel ones I try to get done at the beginning of the week. But anyway, guys, I don't know, man. If you guys have any ideas, anything that you want to see in my reviews, please let me know. I did recently get a comment from a viewer not too long ago talking about my comic book reviews, because he was talking about my X-Men comic book reviews and how he wants them to have spoilers. And I was like, okay, well, and I know I could probably improve some of my videos that way by putting spoilers, no spoilers, and stuff like that. But I want to get them formatted to a way where anybody can come and watch them, and I think that's going to come. And also, like I've said before, I want to kind of change the format of them. But I'm thinking what I'm going to start doing is, in the titles, I may just put spoilers, because what I'm going to do is, at the beginning, I will talk about the book without spoilers, and then we'll get into spoilers afterward. It's going to make for some longer videos, but maybe I'll go ahead and do that. I don't know. Like I said, I'm always trying to think of different ways to do reviews and things like that, just to keep it fresh, keep it, so not the same. And also, because I also don't want to do like, okay, this comic book review, no spoilers, and one with spoilers. You know what I mean? Because then I gotta shoot 2 videos, and it's like, I don't know, man. I don't know. That's why I'm thinking maybe I'll just do them all in the same one, and just make it like, at the beginning there's gonna be the review, and then the spoilers later. I don't know, man. Let me know. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Thor issue number 4, is that an older issue? No. It just came out. It just came out yesterday. Thor issue number 4 just came out yesterday. I don't think it is Rose. Could be wrong though. I'm not currently reading it, but it's good too. Go out and read these books. These Donny Cates Thors. It's been really good. Boatwright Family and Comics. Thank you so much for being here. 1-2 Comic Talk. Thank you so much for being here. But anyway, guys, yeah, that's gonna do it for today. Like I said, we talked a little bit about some comic books, and if there's any of these comic books that you want me to do some more in-depth reviews on, please always let me know down in the comments below. I'll do my best to get some of those shot for you. But anyway, guys, thank you all so much for being here today. Make sure you stay tuned to the channel. I have some videos that will be dropping here on the channel. I've got plenty more reviews that I've got to get shot here for you guys. But yeah, I don't know. I guess that's really about it. Thank you all so much for tuning in today. You all have a very good day. Have a great rest of your week if I don't see you until then, and we'll see you in the next video. Later.
Yeah.